Welcome, everyone, to the Insurance Perspectives Podcast. I'm super excited today to be joined by Jason Larsen, CEO, Risk Advisor at First State Insurance Agency Southwest, based out of lovely Minnesota. This is a continuation of our series of episodes recorded at the 2026 HawkSoft User Group National Conference in Arlington, Texas. We hope you enjoyed today's discussion, and be sure to follow the podcast on Apple, Spotify, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you. Jason joined the agency in July 2020 and moved into his current role in January 2023. He's an insurance professional focused on building an agency that lasts, with the core belief that when you serve people well, operate with clarity and structure for sustainability, growth follows. He is involved in his local church as well as serves as a volunteer part-time firefighter. Jason, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome to the show. To get us started, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and how you found your way into the insurance space?
So I was a plant manager at a manufacturing company making plastic lumber, and they had sold out to a competitor of ours, and so I had the opportunity they were going to close my plant down and move it over to Chicago, where their main facility was, and I was a casualty to that. So I was either offered to move to Chicago, and that wasn't my gig. So I was looking for a job, and one evening, so this was early COVID, the only thing we could do was go pick up food at the restaurants.
Yeah.
So I was at a local Mexican restaurant picking up some food one night, and our agency is located inside of a bank, and the president of the bank who approached me, but his wife was the principal of the agency.
Okay.
Both of them were majority owner. Between the two of them, there was two other partners at the time. And he walked in behind me. I was just picking up food on the way home on Friday night. He walked in behind me, and good family friends of ours, put his hand on my shoulder, and he goes, "Hey, we're looking for someone to run the agency, and I hear you're looking for a job." He goes, "Have you ever thought about insurance?" And I said, "Not a day in my life." So here we were. So I said, "Well, let me think about it over the weekend, and I'll call you on Monday. If you got any questions or anything, I'll let you know." And so I called him Monday. I got home, talked with the wife, and I'm like, well, God must be working here. And so we talked about it, and I called him Monday, and here we are.
What did you know about the insurance space, or what might entail to being in the insurance business before that?
Oh boy, not very much.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I knew I needed insurance. I had auto and home insurance and an umbrella, but outside of that, I was only talked into that because my agent wanted to upsell me.
Yeah.
So
talk about this is fascinating. Talk about what the next steps from there were. You went and met with them, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, so it was COVID, so it was all we did.
Okay.
It was a Teams call or whatever at the time, and I met with them and the other two partners, and the conversation really was around, hey, we know you have management experience and all the rest, and so we've been looking for someone for quite a while. Barb wants to retire in a few years, and so just kind of find someone, the right person to mentor and get into the position to really to take over. And so we worked together and came to an agreement, and I worked with her for about 3 years, and then she was a great mentor, one of the best I've ever had, and so just taught me a lot of stuff. It was a fantastic experience.
Talk about the very early stages of learning and learning the business.
Yeah.
And kind of what that looked like for you, and part two, would you say that was more difficult than you thought it was, or about the same? Or
Minnesota was pretty strict on requirements to get licensed. I mean, fairly simple, but still 40 hours of education that you got to get through, and then take the big old test and whatnot. A lot of states are the same, but had to take that. I did both property and casualty, and then not long after took the life and health, just to make sure I got that done. Training in the office, they made it so easy. We were a small office at the time. There was 5 of us total in the office, and we They were really, really good. Jen, who's actually here with me, has been with the agency for 17 years as well, and so she continues on, and that's really helpful. She's very knowledgeable and very good in the insurance world, very good with customers and things. And so, really training, we work very closely as a team, and so that really helped me.
Yeah.
I mean, I leaned on underwriters and all the rest, very heavy on that, and went from there. So I understand the business world very well. I focused a lot of my early years in personal lines to get comfortable there because it is a little simpler. And then I really have focused, heavy into the commercial line sense. Part of that's me because I'm an engineer at heart. And so it takes a little more on the commercial line side. There's more pieces of the puzzle to put together and those types of things. And so, really that kind of fits what I like to do.
Yeah.
So
Was that the plan from the beginning for you to kind of take over as
I
running?
I was hired. I mean, that was the goal, was for me to take over the agency and be the principal of the agency and manage from there. Through the years, I mean, in that initial discussion was, hey, there's a chance for ownership as you go down the road and some of those things. As things changed and evolved, instead of just, taking a little piece of it, I ended up buying pretty much the whole agency. Jen's got a little portion of it, but so we worked together that way. But really, just we're in different stages of life and different things, so it was probably the right move for me, and so I can be more aggressive on, from a growth standpoint.
How big of a team do you have?
So right now we're 11.
Okay.
So, and we technically have 3 offices. Worthington is our headquarters. We have an office over in Sioux Falls, South Dakota that we actually acquired back in May. And then we have a part-time gal that's up in a Pipestone office, Pipestone, Minnesota. So Southwest Minnesota, Southeast South Dakota.
What was that like for you to transition into, because you were only in the business a short time, less than 3 years when you got into the business before you became the principal.
Yeah.
What was it like when you became the principal? Because all of a sudden, you're the person who's making decisions.
So the decision side doesn't bother me because I was used to that in my previous roles and things.
Yeah.
And so that doesn't really bother me. Biggest thing was, hey, are we gonna set ourselves up for E&O risk? But I'm fairly reserved that way, fairly cautious, and that's one of the top things on my brain all the time is being cautious, making sure we're doing things right. And the agency does a very, very good job in all of its history of documentation and attaching and, doing those types of things. And so I learned really, really fast, and that is, I guess, what made me successful. Would the normal average person be ready for that in 3 years? I don't know. I felt very good about it when we did that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken that step. I don't know. I absorbed it really well, and it went really well. That's not typically me, but it did. And I mean, we're learning every day.
Right.
But I think everyone is, especially in today's world with the market,
with the changes. And,
so
yeah. What's been your favorite part of being involved in the insurance space?
Yeah. I mean, I love working with people. I love helping people, and I love putting the puzzle pieces together to build out the right policy for our customers.
What's been the most challenging for you?
I mean, the market.
Yeah, it's real.
For everyone. Everyone
it's
understands
real.
that. And I'm in Minnesota. I mean, I would hate to be, Florida, California has probably had it worse than us. But we've had our changes and those things. So that's been the hardest part because I took ownership, and then things are changing in the middle of that so fast.
So talk about how that's challenged you as a leader to go through this difficult period. Now that it's your job to keep the morale up and keep communicating with people. And so talk about how that's challenged you in that way.
Yeah, and so we've got a fairly young team, through that. And I mean, most of them are 3 to 4 years in or longer at this point. But just, working together, communication, staying on top of it. We try and do fun things as a team, and
what are some of the fun things you try to do?
I mean, we don't do it often enough, but getting out and we'd love to go out to dinner, Christmas time and stuff like that. But just in the office, just even taking a morning and just all of us chatting about our weekend on Monday morning, or those types of things.
So important.
Yeah.
And we do a lot on our team with that. We're stretched pretty thin, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we wear a lot of different hats. especially if you're doing a little producing and you're doing a little managing and you're doing a little IT and all the things. To be intentional about taking the time to get the team together, even if it's a 15-minute coffee break on Tuesday morning, and just socializing.
Mm-hmm.
When I meet with my team, to a person, they tell me how impactful that is and how much they enjoy that.
Yeah, and part of that is our headquarters, our Worthington office is very easy to do that. As we get out to the other offices, since we've brought them on in May, that's brought a whole new aspect or difficulty to do that, right? And so it's, get them flowers and, different things like that for their birthdays or whatever, and just trying to make sure that they're part of the team. It's hard when you got multiple locations.
It's a challenge.
Yeah. They feel like they're on an island or whatever.
That's right. That's right. And we kind of have the same thing because we're sort of a hybrid where half of our team is across the country.
Sure.
So, we utilize our video calls and so we'll still do that. We'll play games together and it's really, really, really meaningful. You switched over to HawkSoft in 2023. What made you decide on HawkSoft?
Yeah, so we looked at a few different management systems. What made us choose HawkSoft? Man, Linda was our sales, person, and she is awesome. Yeah. She told us all the way through. She's like, it's like family, and I'm like, nah, no way. And we ended up when we talked to a couple of referrals and things, and they're like, yeah, no, it is awesome. And so that's a lot of it. I love that it's family owned. That's fantastic to me because they care about people, and they tell me they listened, and things, and they do 100%. You go out to that community page and they listen. I've put dozens of things on there and quite a few of them are implemented, and so that's what I love about HawkSoft. So it was an easy decision. At the end of the day, I like that HawkSoft likes to bolt on other products. So we work with Agency Zoom for a CRM and Lightspeed for a phone system. And so they integrate and have that integration. Yeah, there's improvements that can be made, but that's with everything. And so it's been fantastic that they like to do that instead of just having all of it. So they want to be great at doing a management system and bolt on the other. So let them be great at that, and let's make it work together.
Right.
So that's what I love. And so that's what drew me here.
Yeah.
Best decision we made.
Wow. Did you get that? To your point, I learned that right away too. I think that our agency joined in about 2021, and it was apparent from the very beginning that I never worked with another tech provider that listened and cared and was actively getting better.
Yeah.
And now you see it there's an update every week.
Yeah, impressive.
It's usually something that someone suggested.
Oh yeah.
Find another tech program that does that.
Yeah.
Challenge you. How's the Hug experience been so far?
It's been fantastic. I love this. I love these events. I've been going since the first year. And I've also done the owners retreat the last couple of years. And they're fantastic. I would recommend them for everyone. To come here, I love the networking.
Yeah.
That's the best part. These people are family, literally. I've got so many friends that I've learned in this or met in this industry in the last couple of years of coming to these events. It's just incredible. They're willing to lay their life out for you, tell you exactly what they're doing. It's incredible. You don't see that anywhere else. No. And so that's what I love about these events. Obviously, the learning and those types of things are fantastic. I love that I can come see Paul and Sean and sit down with them and say, hey guys, what's next? I've been on the phone multiple times with Shang and team and just talking about how to other ideas and improvements and things. You don't get that anywhere else.
Well, and look at all the people you just named. Look at how accessible they make themselves.
Yeah.
Again, where else do you see that? And they're asking you, and they're always talking, listening, jotting things down. It's really, really special. Anything so far that's really any session that's stuck out to you, or any big moments is like, oh, that's amazing. I have to implement that.
I've got a lot of notes to go back with because there's so much. And so, it's, star this and star that, like we got to implement this. There's so many different things. I would say there was like one-click reporting was like an aha moment. I didn't realize that I could share that and it'd be a live, like if they ran that in a week, that shared report, that it would be live. for them and updated data at that. So that was nice. I know that's a simple thing,
Yeah,
but
no,
there's
it's one
simple
thing.
things and big things,
That's right.
I've learned a lot about AI, and some of that I love technology. I love to be in it, but I'm not the leader, right? And so just trying to stay on top of it and understand what people are doing and the tools that are out there. I mean, I'm good at watching and saying, is this really going to be something we need or not? And so that, those are some of the big things. Jim Craig was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome.
Last question for you. Your agency has a core value titled community commitment.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important to give back to your community?
It builds culture, builds relationships, it builds trust in the community. I think that as you implant yourself in the community, you attend events, you are involved in the chamber, you are, those types of things, they think of you, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm buying a jet ski tomorrow. It's the first one I've ever bought. And, I'm going to go see, First State Insurance, right? And so we do have high, not high expectations, but we do, it's even in our handbook that we request that our staff is involved in community events, that they attend these things, that they're involved in that they represent the agency well in the community when they're in and around that. And so we like our staff to be a part of, the chamber board or other committees or sports events or those types of things. We don't require it, but we suggest that we do that. And it doesn't really take much, because once they get out and do that, they love it. That's what they're in, insurance for, right? Is because they've enjoyed, they enjoyed working with people, right?
Yeah.
And so it's easy, once we get that going, no, I'm going to go be part of this and go be part of that. And it's great because it does build, I don't know, it
Trust.
builds trust.
It's
great.
It's not Geico. Hey, I know Jennifer.
Yeah.
Let me just call her. And when they need a referral, you got to call Jason.
Right.
He's treated me good. He knows, went to school with my brother. Relationship goes a long way.
It goes
Still
a long
does.
way.
And that's never going to change.
That's where we're at. That's why we're independent agencies, and what builds us, right, is.
But to be intentional about that, that's an extra step, and it's only gonna.
Yeah.
Not that you're doing it just for the payback, but it's meaningful.
Right.
And that's how you build a long, trustworthy business.
Right.
Hey, I want to thank you for your time today.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. We really appreciate you being here. Thank you to the listeners for listening to today's podcast. For the best way to contact today's guest, click the episode description below. We appreciate you listening, and please join us next time on the Insurance Perspectives Podcast.